gentlemen, female gentlemen, Minecraft, but you can't break the laws of Judaism. That's right, we're covering all the lore on this channel of everything. We've already done Minecraft lore in the past, so I think it's really important to understand Minecraft if you could beat it without breaking the laws of Judaism. I've heard that this is an absolutely diabolical video. It was highly recommended by my chat, so we're here today.
Can you beat Minecraft without breaking the commandments of Judaism?
So as someone that knows all the commandments of Judaism, all right, listen, I will be judging him, all right? I will be judging him very harshly.
Okay, what even are the commandments of Judaism?
Bro, there is no way this dude is going to be going through all the 613 commandments in the Torah. This is not happening.
Are they just the same thing as the 10 commandments? The answer is
no. 10 commandments are only 10 of the 613 commandments of Judaism.
No. Judaism contains a lot more commandments than just 10, a lot of which are actually possible to follow in Minecraft.
True.
And there are a lot that aren't. Let me...
Bro, you can't circumcise your young in Minecraft? Bro.
Explain a little something. There are 3 Abrahamic religions: Islam, Christianity, and Judaism.
Oh, we are going back.
Each one has a list of rules that is at the foundation of their faith.
All right.
Islam has 5 main rules with the pillars. Christianity has 10 with the commandments. Guess how many Judaism has? 613.
That's where we at, baby.
613 rules that we're gonna have to follow within the game of Minecraft. This is such a massive amount. We need to be organized, or else this challenge will be too overwhelming. It'll be impossible. Luckily for me, the commandments have already been divided up into 34 separate categories.
Oh, that's easy.
So let's take a look at the first category: God. The first thing you probably notice is the
believe in God, one God, not more than one God. Don't worship false gods. Don't use the Lord's name in vain. All right, these are all pretty basic commandments.
way that I spelled this. Why would I put a dash instead of the O?
Well, this is a big fake news thing, all right? A lot of people do this. A lot of Jews do it. It's not a real thing, all right? This is fake news.
That brings me to the first rule that I want to set for this Minecraft.
Not allowed to write the name God. All right, let me explain. All right, let me explain something to you. God, the G-O-D, that word in English is a title. Okay, it is a title, it is not a name. So therefore you can write God. That's first, okay? Second, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people do the G-D thing, not to write the name of God, even though it's not the name of God. Keep going.
The God category contains 10 commandments, but for simplicity's sake,
all right, yeah.
There's really only one that I want to worry about, and that is not to profane God's name. In Judaism, the name of God is so sacred that many Orthodox Jews spell it with the dash instead of the O out of reverence.
True. So a lot of people do that. However, God is not a name, so they don't do it for any good reason, to be honest.
I'm in my Minecraft run, and I say anything
the kosher speed run
along the lines of, "Ooh, good Lord, there's a village right here. Can I make this jump?"
Yeah, that's not blessed. That's not the laws of Judaism. You're allowed to say good Lord. Again, Lord is a title. Lord is a title. Lord is not a name. It's specifically do not profane the name of God, not the title God or Lord or all these things completely allowed in Judaism. So anyway, I'm just giving the Jew breakdown here.
Ooh, oh my God. The run is instantly over.
But why, bro? No, that's not his name. Oh my God.
Forbidden from spelling the name of God without the dash. Kosher speed run. Let's go. Okay, not the best spawn. Starting right now, I can't say, you know what? I can't say that.
All right.
There's 10 out of 613 rules. What have I gotten myself into? This is going to be way too hard. Ooh, look, dude. It's some pigs for us to eat. Look, we can kill...
No! Not kosher! Not kosher!
One right now.
Don't eat the pig!
Oh. Wait! Let's talk about the second category of commandments that we need to follow, the dietary law.
There we go!
This category contains 27 commandments and basically outlines the things that we can and cannot eat.
True.
As for animals, this is what the scripture has to say. Any animal that has true hoofs, with clefts through the hoofs, and that chews the cud, such you may eat.
That's true.
Because pigs have split hooves, but do
not chew their cud.
Chew their cud.
Not kosher.
This makes them not kosher, so pigs are off the menu in this run. But wait a second, there's another specific thing that makes meat kosher.
The type of slaughtering. That's right. That's another thing. I don't know if he's gonna mention.
And that's the slaughter method.
Yeah, dude, I am literally so good at this whole Jew thing. So yeah, there's a specific slaughter method that needs to be done.
For this, a shohet is required.
Correct.
Who is basically
he's the expert slaughterer.
Expert slaughterer trained in Jewish law.
True. The way it works is, okay, whatever. Essentially, you need to take the knife and with one stroke, you need to slice both trachea and the esophagus at one time, which is a method that will cause the animal to face the least amount of pain possible in its death. All right, as opposed to like, you know, torturing it or shooting it or just letting it die or getting injured or you just find a dead animal. You have to specifically slaughter it in a way that it'll immediately kill it. The quickest blood drain method. That is the strat.
And what they do is they make a single cut with a special knife called a shalef to kill the animal in a humane way.
To be honest, it's allowed to be any knife as long as the knife has no nicks. The rule is that the knife can't have like serrated knives or edges. You just need to slice it with a completely sharp knife. It doesn't need to be a specific knife. Roadkill is not kosher. No, roadkill is not kosher.
Since we don't have access
It needs to be like super humane slaughter. That's the idea.
either of these things in Minecraft, I'm gonna say there's no possible way we can make meat kosher.
Bro,
So
dude, you could use any blade that's not serrated. You could use. Oh, dude, this guy is not an expert slaughterer.
we'll be prohibited from eating it for the duration of the run. So we'll have to make do with produce, all of which is considered kosher. Yeah, you guys.
Unless Minecraft takes place in Israel, actually. Because in Israel, you would need to tithe your produce. According to the Bible, you need to tithe your produce.
Really thought.
Can Jews not hunt? Jews can hunt. You just can't kill an animal through hunting and eat the dead animal. You would need to either capture the hunted animal and then slaughter it or whatever.
I was gonna kill that pig, didn't you? You guys really thought. Anyways.
I mean, you could kill pigs. You just can't eat them. You could like throw them at people.
I think that.
Unlike in Islam, I'm pretty sure like they don't let you touch pigs. But Judaism, you are allowed to. You just can't actually can't eat them.
A good start would actually just be to cut down all these trees and just wait for the apples to drop.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we have a few apples. Okay, after I eat, there's got to be another rule that kicks in.
Wait, so this dude is obviously assuming that the Minecraft world does not take place in Israel, or else they would need to tithe the apples. But anyway.
Really quickly, let's go over the third category of commandments, the prayers and blessings.
All right.
This category only.
You mean you ate the apple without making a blessing on the apple? Fake Jew. Fake Jew.
Only has 4 commandments, which makes it the shortest one. Basically, we have to pray a few times per day when certain events happen, which are after we eat, in the morning, and at night. The prayer after we eat can be accomplished by typing the words, "Thank you for giving food into this world," into the chat.
That sounds
This
about
sounds
right.
pretty simple, but we have to do this every time after we eat, including if we're fighting something. So
It's a crazy twist. Wait, it doesn't need to be immediate after eating. Yeah, it's a verse in the Bible. And you eat and you are satiated and you praise the Lord. That is the quote from the Bible.
this rule really has the potential to mess us up. The second and third times that we have to pray are in the morning and night, where we will type a part of the
Yeah,
Shema.
where it says Shema.
The
There
Lord
it is. Not Shema.
is our God. The
Yeah, the Lord is one.
Lord is one.
Yep, that one. That one, you got to do that morning and evening.
Into the chat.
Yep.
Again, this is pretty simple, but there's potential for us to forget and lose the challenge. Anyways, let's get back
True.
to the gameplay. Now I have to type, "Thank you for giving
Okay, so this guy doesn't understand anything.
food to this world."
You absolute buffoon. You absolute buffoon. When it says that you must praise the Lord for your food, it's only referring to after eating bread. It's not referring to an apple. In the Bible, it's referring specifically to actual meals that satiate you. It's not referring to any time you eat a candy or an apple. So, not required.
We have to say that after every single time we eat, no matter what.
There's a special apple prayer. Yeah, but that one's not a commandment in the Bible. That one is a later thing, a tradition that came up later. That's like Talmudic law. It's not biblical law.
Ooh, I hear a skeleton. Hopefully I don't have to fight him. Just a quick little note, there are Jewish laws about fighting, which I will reveal later. But for now,
Oh my God, he's getting into that. So self-defense is obviously legal in the Bible. So therefore, according to Jewish law, but you can't murder. Thou shalt not murder is pretty basic.
just enjoy. Oh no. I do not want to fight this thing. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Bro. Why would you not do self-defense? You literally protect your life as a verse in the Bible. Protect your life as you literally violated biblical law by getting killed.
Wait, what happened?
This is crazy.
Did I die? Am I in heaven?
Oh.
Anyways, since we just died, what do the Jewish commandments actually have to say about killing? The main commandment that deals with this is simple. Thou shalt not murder.
There it is.
But this leaves a lot up to interpretation. Do undead mobs count as murder? Do
Didn't think about that one.
skeletons count?
Wow.
Just for the challenge's sake, I'm
Alright.
going to say that I'm not allowed to kill anything unless it's absolutely necessary for the
To be
run.
honest, one thing I have to say, the Talmud never specifically discusses if thou shalt not murder applies to skeletons and zombies. So I gotta say, that is never specifically mentioned.
To continue, for example, I'll be allowed to kill blazes because they're required to progress in the game. Also, if my life is actually in danger, like it just was with the skeleton, I'll be allowed to fight it. But other than that,
I mean, that is literally a passage in the Bible that if someone breaks into your house at night, you should kill him before the morning. That is a verse in Exodus. So self-defense is perfectly legal.
no killing. Okay, it's annoying that we died, but like, it's okay. Let's just get another attempt in. Okay, so I found a village, which is good, but unfortunately we cannot steal anything because that's some of the commandments. So
right, thou shalt not steal is there. That's a real
like
thing.
Where I want to settle down and build a house. And yes, this challenge requires.
Can you eat eggs in Minecraft? I haven't really played Minecraft. Can you eat eggs? Because eggs are kosher. Like chicken eggs are kosher.
That I build a house, believe it or not. Okay, it's turning night. We pray. Now we can go to sleep. As you can see, we're really struggling with food because like the only food we can really get is apples and stuff that we grow because we can't steal it from the village. So like
there are eggs used for cakes. Then you could eat that. Bro, this guy doesn't know.
We need to get a farm going. All right, so we're officially out of sprint.
Cake plus egg plus milk. That's kosher. What's wrong with that? If the milk comes from a kosher animal, meaning a cow or whatever, that's perfectly allowed. Sorry, that's legal.
Okay, so it is currently Minecraft day 3, and we have until the end
of boy, when they get, what are they gonna do for Sabbath?
Day 6 to finish building a house. I'll explain why there's a time limit on building a house later, but you're gonna want to stick around to see why we need this house. Let me tell you.
Let's go.
Okay, hold on. Why the heck am I actually building a house? Well, let me introduce you to the next category of commandments, the times and seasons.
I did not think we were getting there.
This category has 35 commandments, but
oh yeah, Passover, whatever.
There are really only 4 that apply to Minecraft, all of which have to do with Shabbat or...
Oh, so he's basically skipping the festivals, which is fine. I don't know exactly what month this is in.
The Sabbath. They are to sanctify the Sabbath,
that's right.
Not to work on the Sabbath,
that's right.
To rest on the Sabbath,
right.
But most importantly, not to leave your place of residence on the Sabbath.
Oh my god, he's taking place of residence super literally. That's not what place of residence means. Place of residence means like your city, for example. Place of residence doesn't literally mean your house, but okay.
This is why I had to build a house. I had to have a place to reside during the Sabbath.
Yeah, so no, that's not a real thing. That is not a real thing in Judaism, but all right.
The rule is that every 7th Minecraft day, we must be inside of our house resting for the entirety of the day.
That's
Don't laugh. Okay, it is now Minecraft day 6 out of 7. Okay, this isn't much, but...
All right.
This looks like such garbage. I'm gonna fix this up, by the way.
Yeah, it means don't travel. Yeah, rest in your place means don't travel, basically.
We wake up, we're not allowed to leave the house. We're not allowed to do any work.
That's not a thing!
We're not allowed to
Stop!
do anything except pray. Now we just have to sit here. We can't place any blocks. We can't break any blocks.
That's
we
true.
can't move anything around
That's
in
true.
chests.
That's true.
Really, the only thing
you can't really do anything.
You're allowed to do is study the Torah, so...
I mean, that's not the only thing you can do, but true.
Let me go do that for a couple minutes.
Yeah, but no labor. You're not allowed to do any labor, so no building and stuff.
I don't know about you guys.
But what about eating good food on the Sabbath? That's also a commandment that you have to rest on the Sabbath and eat good food and enjoy. That's a commandment. What are we doing? You didn't even have a nice family meal?
But I feel well rested after that Sabbath. Okay, first things first, let's expand our farm.
Wait, did you have animals working on the Sabbath? You know your animals are not allowed to work on the Sabbath too.
All right, that should be big enough. The second thing we need to do is fix this house. So maybe you guys can't really tell the difference, but it looks better, guys, trust me. And the inside looks better too. Okay, now that we're kind of set up, we can kind of go into the more unique things about this challenge, and there are quite a few of them. Okay, so before we get into the truly crazy rules of this challenge, I need to explain something about Judaism. If you've been really paying attention, even after all these rules that I've explained so far, we haven't covered a 1/6 of the total commandments.
True.
So why? Well, we can split them up into
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of them don't apply. Sacrifices and stuff. I assume he doesn't have an altar and a temple, so I don't assume he's going to be doing any sacrifices of livestock or whatever to God. That's one thing that I assume he's not going to be doing. Another thing that I assume he's not going to be doing is getting married, building a family, and having children, which is a commandment in the Bible. I assume he's not going to be doing that either.
Categories: positive commandments and negative commandments.
True.
A negative commandment is something that prohibits you from doing something. For example, the commandment
Thou shalt not kill, murder.
Thou shalt not murder asks you not to murder. A positive commandment would be asking you to actually do something.
True.
For example, start digging in your butt twin.
Yeah, it doesn't say that though anywhere in the Bible, but yeah.
Okay, that one's not in the Torah, but you get the point. What I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of commandments that ask us not to do something that would be impossible to do in Minecraft anyway, so we don't have to worry about them. This
True.
covers a lot of commandments.
Yeah, like for example, incest. You don't have to worry about that one. In Minecraft, no incest. Easy.
But there are a few positive commandments that we still have to follow. This first one's a fun one. We're actually going to have to build a tabernacle.
No way, bro. You've got to be kidding me.
If you don't know what this is, it's basically the sanctuary that the ancient Jewish people used to worship. So let's just go back.
Dude, you realize that the build the tabernacle were commandments that were applicable to Jews that were trapped in the desert. It became the temple once they entered Israel. And now where we're at right now in our history is that we are not commanded to do that as it stands right now. Unless it's specifically on Mount Moriah in Israel. That is the only place where you have this commandment to build the temple. The tabernacle was, since the Torah was given to the Jews in the desert, that they were forced to build a tabernacle, which was a mobile temple, essentially. So, technically, I don't think that this commandment applies in Minecraft. That's just my opinion.
Into our Minecraft world and build kind of whatever we want. It's not like there's a complicated and extremely detailed...
No. It's super complicated. It's wild how complicated it is. If he's gonna take this seriously, you need to build pillars and hooks, and you need everything.
Guide found within the Jewish text that specifies exactly how our tabernacle...
It's super specific to the point. The dyes that are used to dye the skin of the animal that's used as curtains is literally specified.
Should be built. What? Welcome to How to Build a Tabernacle 101.
Oh my
First
God.
of all, the tabernacle must be built out of acacia wood. No, I did not make this up. There are multiple verses that specify
Yeah,
that
it needs to be specific wood.
should be built out of specifically acacia wood.
Yep.
Step 2. Refer to the schematic constructed by Jewish scholars on the exact dimensions of the tabernacle.
Yep.
Okay, so real talk, the commandments actually do command us to build a tabernacle, and I think that a good place to start would be to build the courtyard using
It's a good
path
start.
blocks. Okay, so...
I mean, technically, there's a commandment to build like an altar and all that also.
I think that this space behind our house is probably the best area to build the tabernacle in. I mean, look how flat this is. Okay, the tabernacle was 100 cubits long and 50 cubits wide, which cubits are basically just like an ancient measurement. It's going to be about
True.
50 blocks long, like 25 blocks wide. Okay, so that should
A cubit is a foot and a half, in case you were curious. It's a half a meter or a foot and a half.
be the rectangle of like where the courtyard is going to be. And we just got to fill it in. Okay, so I think the next thing that we
Bro's
need to do
building the cell games.
is we need to build a fence around here.
You're not following the commandments of how you need specific pillars. Dude, it just specifically describes that you need boards of acacia wood. You need pillars of silver. All right, silver sockets that you put the pillars in. You're not even gonna make the sockets silver? Oh my God.
So there's the fence done. So now we have the courtyard and the fence. Now it's time to start putting some of the details. So the first thing...
You don't have bronze in Minecraft? Someone in my chat just told me you don't even have bronze. You don't have bronze and you're trying to build a tabernacle? Oh my God.
Things first, we need to put this campfire in the middle because look at the picture, man. It's there. And
That's not a campfire! That is an altar made of copper.
first things first, we
Oh
need to put
my
this
God.
campfire
Did you even read the Torah, bro?
in the middle because look at the picture.
That's literally not a campfire. Oh my God. This is literally a copper altar that was made to sacrifice livestock on. And this is a terrible image that they've selected because as you can see, this is really tiny, when in actuality, the copper altar is huge. All right. If you actually were curious, all right, I'll show you what it's actually supposed to look like. All right. Unbelievable. The cringe, bro. The cringe. All right, so I'll show you. So essentially, Essentially, this is kind of what we got to deal with. All right. So this is the copper altar. Over here, you need to get the basin. Obviously, it's super important. This is the Holy of Holies. Here's the Ark of the Covenant is in here. As you can see, this is the main room where here's the menorah. Here's a little altar that's used for spices and incense. This over here, as you can see, is the table with the 12 loaves of bread that are set there specifically. These are 2 curtains, one curtain, a second curtain, and these are specifically dyed of both like Urex trunculus blue dye is used in the making of this, entwined with gold fibers. So good luck, bro. Good luck.
Man, it's there. And then there's like all these benches around it. Okay, so now it's time to
Did you call it the Holy Molies? It's called the Holy of Holies, the holiest spot.
build like the actual structure of the tabernacle. So basically what this is, it was a sanctuary that the ancient Jewish people used to worship, and it was like a temporary...
Bro! The Jewish people didn't worship the tabernacle. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. The Jewish people worshipped God in the tabernacle. What you just said was blasphemy? Restart the speed run.
Sanctuary.
Restart
It wasn't
the
supposed
speed
to
run
be like
now.
a building that was like existed for a long time. It was built with these 5 pillars, so let's do that. Okay, that looks perfect, just like the pictures. Okay, now we need to do the walls. Okay, so the basic structure is now complete. So if we look at the inside of the tabernacle, basically it's split up into 2. It's like
Correct.
the holy place and then the holiest of holy places.
True.
And basically that's where they keep the ark. So
True.
let's kind of split this up into 2. Okay,
Okay, but you need a curtain. It's done specifically with a curtain.
now we need to work on the covering. And
Bro is literally skimming his holy book. He's skimming the holy text. I am personally offended. I'm not actually offended. You know I'm joking. I think this video is awesome. I just want to make this clear just now because I'm sure people are going to take it. I think this is awesome. All right, this is really funny. But anyway.
this is something that's actually a commandment. It talks about having a red linen. So I'm going to cover up the roof with red wool. So let's get some of that.
Wool is not linen. In fact, one of the commandments is that you can't mix wool and linen. That is a specific commandment in the Bible. It says you cannot mix wool and linen. And then you have this guy replacing linen with wool.
Okay, perfect. Now, last thing, we need to make those little diagonal things down. We can't really do it with wool, so let's just do it with some wood. Okay, we're pretty much done. We just need to put a
an
cauldron
attempt
to
was
represent the brazen lever. I don't know how to say that, but you know. Okay, we have one last thing until the tabernacle's done. So let's go inside. This is the holiest of holy places, which is where they kept the Ark of the Covenant,
True.
you know, like the one in Indiana Jones. Yeah.
The Ark and the Covenant, you know, like the one from Indiana Jones. A knife in the heart.
So
Oh,
I want to actually get
I'm
a couple
dead.
of gold blocks to put in here to
True,
represent
it
the
is
Ark.
gold. It is
So
gold.
I'm going to go mining to see if I can get enough gold. Guys, I've been mining for well over an hour. I have 6 gold. I'm just gonna go to the Nether, okay? Yeah, man, we're going to the Nether in our run. Yeah, we're gonna get some blaze rods. Nope.
Actually, I'm not sure if going to hell on purpose is technically part of like if the Bible permits it.
Looking for gold for my freaking tabernacle. Terrible spawn. My collar's blue, but my neck is red. I've been working like a dog just to keep my family fed. Okay, that's
Alright.
2 gold blocks. Okay, this is a big moment. Once we put these 2 gold blocks in, our tabernacle is officially complete, baby.
Bro, you just made the Ark 2 gold blocks.
Yes!
All right.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. We got
Wait,
this.
so he's literally not even making like the menorah or the food or the altar inside. Only like little campfire outside. That's crazy.
Tabernacle done.
He didn't
We're
even
all
put cherubs on his ark. This is like the cheapskate tabernacle of all time. I would have just skipped these commandments. To be
set
honest.
up. We have our house. We've been resting on the Sabbath.
Especially because it's not a requirement. It was literally only a requirement for the wandering Jews in the desert. All right, once the Jews already entered Israel, as it states specifically and explicitly, all right, in Kings, all right, as it states in Kings, when Solomon built the temple, now there is no more requirement for a tabernacle because the temple replaces it. Unbelievable, truly unbelievable.
praying every day.
Truly,
Let's just go beat the game,
disrespectful,
right?
to be honest.
Wrong.
Oy vey, anti-Semitism. That was a joke. Joking, kidding.
There's one more final rule that we have to follow before we can go beat the Ender Dragon. And it's a doozy.
All right.
We have to recreate an entire copy of the Torah. First of all, what even...
There is a commandment to write the Torah. He is right. He is true. He is correct on that one. I wasn't even thinking of that one, but that is true.
Is the Torah? Well, it's just the first 5 books of the Old Testament.
True.
And yes, there actually is a commandment that tells us
There
that
is a specific commandment that says you have to build the
every
Torah.
person should write a scroll of the Torah for himself.
That is true. He's right.
So how are we going to do this? Well, the answer is the book and quill, which requires 3 ingredients to craft: a book, a feather, and an ink sac. To get the books, we can trade with the librarian villager, which is allowed by the Jewish commandments, which state that we can trade goods as long as it's fair. The problem
Beast! Bartering and trading. That's classic Judaism.
comes with the ink sac and the
I mean,
feather.
it's fair. Have you seen the nose on these villagers? I mean, look at this guy. You're gonna tell me that the villagers aren't ancient Jews? Look at this guy's nose. Look at this guy. You see what I'm saying? Look at this dude. Telling me that dude's not Jewish?
Jewish commandments, which state that we can trade goods as long as it's fair. The problem comes with the ink sac and the feather because we would have to kill animals to get these items. We already established that we can't eat animals because of our inability to slaughter them in the correct way, but can we use other parts of them? I'm gonna say yes, as long
Yes, of course you can. Obviously.
as our killing method is humane. So now, all we have to do...
Actually, that is actually correct. You are allowed to kill animals to use their different parts for specific things. That is completely allowed. It says in the Bible you're not allowed to torture animals. Like, for example, if you have an ox that's threshing your wheat, you have to make sure it's not muzzled so it's not suffering, as an example. You're not allowed to torture animals, but absolutely you're allowed to use different animal parts for whatever you need it for, as long as it's humane. So he's correct on that.
is gather materials and then copy paste the entire 600 pages of the Torah one by one into each book.
Actually, copy paste does not actually work for a Torah. So in case you're curious, it specifically needs to be written. It cannot be copy pasted. So you would need to write it personally by hand. You can't, like, printing presses for Torah does not actually fulfill the commandment. It needs to be written by hand.
It's easy. Oh, look, it's a librarian. Okay, I already know what you guys are gonna say in the comments.
Wait, isn't it breaking the commandments if he's killing animals in a non-kosher way?
It is
No.
technically breaking the rules.
It's not.
But I think that this...
It's not. You're allowed to kill animals in a not kosher way. You just can't eat them. Whoa! I got your back, Jewish Minecraft guy. I have got your back on this one. Technically, you are allowed to kill animals for a purpose. You're just not allowed to eat them. That's simple. Also, fish do not need to be slaughtered. You could go fishing. Also, I don't know if you can fish in Minecraft.
is a worthy exception because there's
In
really...
the Kids and Pigs, it says not to use or touch any part of the corpse. Wrong! It does not say that anywhere in the Bible. Sorry, chatter! You're wrong! It does not say that anywhere in the Bible. You can fish? Yeah, well, you can fish. You don't need to slaughter fish. Fish does not need to be slaughtered. It's only, like, livestock that needs to be slaughtered. So yeah, so that's what he could have done that. So someone tried to catch me, but he's wrong. Oops. You are allowed to touch pigs. They might make you impure or whatever that means, but that is perfectly allowed to do. It just means that after you do that, you're not allowed to, like, handle holy artifacts and stuff like that.
Literally no other way for us to write our own Torah without killing a few chickens and squids for their drops. Okay, now begins the excruciating process of copy pasting one page at a time, the entire 600 page long Torah. Let's see how long this takes me, guys.
Is sushi kosher? Yeah.
Okay, guys, drop your bets. How long did it take for me to copy paste the entire Torah into books in Minecraft? An hour? 2 hours? 5 hours!
This poor bastard. Oh, God.
It took 5 hours of doing this. And I even installed a mod that allows me to copy paste more in at a time. And it still took that long. So if you're wondering why it takes so long to make these videos, it's because of stuff like that.
Poor guy.
Every single book, man. Every single one. Look at that. The entire Torah. Oh my gosh. On day 33, we can now start
So I assume that means you have already rested on 4 separate Sabbaths, right?
thinking about actually beating the game. Only armor we have is gold boots. What are we doing? We have a tabernacle. We have an entire recreation of the Torah. No iron armor. That's literally just this challenge. It's like, it started, you know, we were thinking...
Dude is not even getting married and having children, which is like the first commandment in the Torah. The first commandment in all of the Torah is having children. This dude didn't even have children. This dude did not even have children. The disrespect, honestly, of my religion is something that I will not stand here and take idly.
About beating the game, and then we gotta build the tabernacle, and then we gotta make an entire recreation of the Torah, and now we can finally beat the game. All right, iron armor, finally.
All right.
Okay, I have to be careful to remove the golden boots and then put this on, because that's actually a commandment. You can't wear clothing made of different mixed fabrics. So
Okay, so to be honest, that's one clothing that is both fabrics mixed. That you are allowed to wear the mixed fabrics at the same time as long as they're on different clothing. All right, you're just not allowed to wear the separate and also gold is not a fabric. Gold is a metal. All right, I want to make this very clear. Gold, not a fabric. Gold, a metal. It's only like specifically wool and linen that's entwined together. All right, that you can't wear. But you are allowed to wear A, separate fabrics and separate clothes, and B, metal's not a fabric, so you could wear gold and something else. So anyway, I got you, bro.
the more you know, right? Okay, it's now the Sabbath, so let's rest up and then we can go beat the game. Okay, while I'm resting, let's do a little refresher on the rules before I go into the Nether. There are really only two
You do realize that there is a one of the commandments is to believe in God. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Huh?
ones that we have to worry about. The first being the thou shalt not murder rule, which basically states we can't kill anything unless it's absolutely necessary for the run to continue. This pretty much means
unless it's absolutely necessary. You can't just kill things because you want to complete your nebulous Minecraft run. That's still murder.
we aren't allowed to kill any hostile mobs other than blazes and the ender dragon, since those are
You are allowed to kill things that try to kill you.
really the only two that are truly
Bro, required? Oh my god.
required to beat the game. But that rule's pretty easy compared to us having to type a prayer in the chat every time that we eat. Remember, we have to type this whole thing, which takes about 5 to 7 seconds. In other words, if we need to heal it all,
it's not every time you eat, it's after every meal. What you think every time a Jew takes a bite, he then makes his prayer before he takes his second bite? Dude, get out of here.
we have to freeze for 5 to 7 seconds no matter what after we eat, which is going to make the Nether in the end a lot more challenging. Okay, let's find this fortress. My main decider of success in this Nether fight will be how fast I can type the Jewish prayer after you eat. Dude, before this recording session, I was actually training on monkey type so that I could
I'm just realizing something pretty crazy. I'm just realizing something insane. Entering the Nether, I would say counts as witchcraft. That is a classic, incredibly classic example of violating a commandment. Right? I think that's witchcraft. Know what I'm saying? Right? That's witchcraft. Bro.
type this faster. Oh, here's a spawner right here. Okay, we got Monster Hunter. Okay, that's one blaze rod. Okay, now look. Now we're gonna have to heal. Boom. See, this is where things get dicey. Anything could just get me right now, and I can't do anything.
Bro, this poor
no.
bastard.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, how are you?
No!
Oh! Dude. Oh, let me heal. I'm closing this off. Dude, it takes like 5 bread to heal. Dude, there's so many in there. Dude, why am I so scared right now? Ah! There's so many. Oh gosh. I need one more. Look at the chat. Okay, come on.
That's crazy.
Okay, get me out of here. We actually almost just died because we were typing our prayer. That's crazy. All right, now all that's left to do is just get our ender pearls.
I'm noticing how he's collecting all these pearls and he's not giving 1/10 of all of his profit to charity, which is a commandment.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous about eating and then just dying in the ender dragon, but you know, we're gonna do our best. Hey, we found it. Watch me lose all of my hours of progress on this world to the ender dragon. Oh, this is how you know you're dealing with a true Minecraft professional. Let's do this.
All right, he's going. He's going.
Boom, sniped. I turn into the world's fastest typer whenever I have to heal up. Vaughn, we're so close. Oh my gosh, already another perch. Oh no. Oh my gosh.
Bro!
Yes! At first glance, I had done it. I beat Minecraft without breaking the commandments of Judaism. But shortly after entering the credits, I made a fatal error. That was a fun challenge. Not really what I was expecting at all. Oh my god, I can't believe we actually beat that.
No! No! Anyway, that was a banger video.
Okay, before I end this video, there's something I have to do. In my last video, I said that if we hit 50,000 subscribers, I would do an armpit reveal, and
Thanks for that. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you want me to see him beating Minecraft, but he can't break the laws of Islam. Thank you so much for being here. I enjoy. Why can't you do heal potions? I don't know. Not kosher. I guess maybe. I don't know. Wizardry. Can't do wizardry or witchcraft in Judaism, so maybe it's that. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. 10 out of 10 armpit. See you in the next one, everybody. This was crazy. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.